where the stories collide. David Mathis brings truth as our guide. From every walk of life and point of view, every voice here has wisdom for you. Lessons for life echo loud and clear. Faith and love in every word we hear. Through the struggles, the triumphs, the fight, we find the light. And lessons for life. Santa speaks of joy in the giving hand. A polio survivor find the will to stand. Bold messengers don't shy from being called to share. Each person has a touching tale of care. Lessons for life echo loud and clear. Faith and love in every word we hear. Through the struggles, the triumphs, the fight, we find the light. In lessons for life. From the lost to the found and the hearts that mend, every journey has a message to send. David's voice a lantern shining so bright, guiding us home with lessons for life.
Here I am, right at my studio in my home, ready to broadcast to you. We're having Randy Buoy on, and he's ministering to the multitudes through social media, a subject that we're really interested in. Before I start, I think I'd like to tell you how Bob knows Randy. Could you bring Randy on the screen? You come on too, Bob.
Sure. We can both come up and join you.
There they are.
Hey, how are you guys? Good to see you.
Randy's in the middle, and Bob, of course, is on the right. And Bob, you can tell me better about how you first met Randy before we do any. We can just do a little background too at the same time.
Sure. Yeah, that I've been in gospel music because that's how we met, was through gospel music. And that's how I meet a lot of people. And got the opportunity to go sing at Randy's church when he was pastor. And got to go sing there and share the word and actually preach on a Sunday morning for him. And we just afterwards had such great fellowship. And between him and the assistant at the time, Pastor Ron, we talked about the desire to possibly bring some groups in there to start singing and things. And so we did that. We started bringing all kinds of different gospel groups through the area. They would come in, and usually we did a Thursday night. It seemed to be a great night because they had a Friday night weekend type thing they were going out to, and so we could get them on Thursday night. And we would host the concerts there, and they would promote it, and the people would come out, and man, it was wonderful. And one of my favorite nights was this night right here. Surprise, Randy. If you look on this flyer, not only is Glory Way Quartet listed, but down there on the right-hand corner, that's Randy's family. And the Buoy Family Trio was our opening artist that night, and they did all a cappella gospel music. And the people,
that's Randy, his wife, and his son?
Yep, that's the three of them right there. And yeah, and they did all a cappella music, and people absolutely loved them, and it was a wonderful night, all the way back in 2015.
Let's see if I get this straight for 2026. The person on the right is his son, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, he is the one that got the tickets we're going to be talking about tonight for the Billy Graham Training Center. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's okay, Randy. Let's talk to you for a second about what this Billy Graham Training Center really is, because this ties right into our ministry.
Yes, it does.
And by the way, before we start, let's say that let people know is you were on our program before. We talked about how that you were a working for, I don't know if you owned your own company, but you owned your own company, I think. And you were working with selling parts to General Motors. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Good memory.
And it didn't work out too well.
Oh,
So
sir.
you, you lost that business.
Yes, sir.
And I understand from the last program we had, you became a blazing alcoholic. Is that true?
Well, I did have alcohol problem, and it was as my business was failing. And if you don't have God as your central focus, you'll turn to other things to help you get through the storm. And I don't recommend that path, Pastor. I don't recommend that path at all. And God miraculously brought us through the storm, and we are so thankful that we reached the bottom. But it's never too late to start serving God.
Well, you reached the bottom and dedicated your life to Christ. But even before that, in 2012, you were writing devotionals, weren't you?
Yes, every day on Facebook. I was a pastor at the time. I would write, when I joined Facebook, I would write either a poem or a short devotion about a little sermonette, I used to call them. I used to call them sermonettes. Or I'd write a poem. And if we were up at various times during the night, God led me to write something. We wrote over 1,200 different pieces of work during that time.
Well, on YouTube, we have that first interview with you talking about how you went into the ministry. But today, I want to talk about social media and how you're using it. Because, hey, no matter how old you are, and you're young, I'm old, no matter how old you are, you can serve the Lord.
That is
And now
correct.
you're starting a new way in social media. So let's talk about that for a second, okay? Can we do that?
I'd love to.
Okay, let's take what the Billy Graham Training Center really is, because you just left there in early March, and
Yeah.
now you're starting to be more involved in social media. Is that correct?
That is correct. I've switched from using all my devotions that I've been posting on Facebook since October in a more professional manner on my private Facebook page, where God gave us 3 million views and over 400,000 people who engaged on those. I now have a professional page called Devotions from the Heart.
Now that's new. That's new. So let's take first this Billy Graham
Yes,
Training Center. Now that picture you showed before was you were on your way to the training center. Is that right?
yeah, I was excited. My son, as a Christmas gift, as you mentioned, he bought me this ticket to this Asheville Christian Writers Association conference. They've been having that since 2005. I didn't even know it existed. That was my Christmas gift. He said, Dad, guess where you're going at the end of February? Okay. It turned out to be a near life-changing experience going to the conference.
Did you expect this to be a life-changing experience?
I was hoping it would be, but it's funny, Pastor Dave. I was thinking that I would come out of there with a greater desire to become a published writer, when in fact I'm the opposite. I'm going to just continue on doing which God has opened the door for.
Pictures you're showing now are pictures of the conference. That's where it was held, right?
Yes, it was at the Billy Graham Training Center. They call it the Cove. 1,200 acres of the most beautiful property I've ever seen, with mountains and forests. I'd love to go there when the trees are all in bloom. And it was a wonderful facility, great people, and the faculty that they had. Every day you could go to either one or two classes.
Hang on for a second. Let's look at the conference center first, and then talk about how you changed. Is that okay?
Sure.
That's some of the chairs there. I tell you, it looks like a beautiful place.
It was. It really was.
And you went there how many times a day?
Well, it was full. They were pretty in-depth time periods. Friday was half a day. That's when a lot of people were flying in. So that was like from 12 till 9 o'clock at night, 9 hours. Saturday was all day from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. And then Sunday was from 8 a.m. till about noon.
Okay, let's talk about how you took this conference and changed your life, because that's what we're going to talk about in a second. What happened that changed your life from getting writer's advice to being a social media star?
Well, I'm not that. In fact, the motto of my devotions page is, I'm just a nobody, writing as a somebody, hoping to reach everybody, about the love of God. I thought that my son thought, because I've written so many devotions that have received the response from the people that it has, that maybe I should learn more how to write a book or get a book published.
Now, what
And
it's showing is your page. Is that correct?
yeah, that is my page you're looking at now, my professional page. I came away from the conference realizing I probably won't be a published writer, but I'm going to use, as our title of the show today says, ministering to the multitudes through social media. So I was encouraged to.
We got the idea. We got the idea, right, Andy? We got what you are all of a sudden going to turn into. But since the 1st of March to now, you've taken big steps to go into social media and spread the word. How many people do you reach?
Well, with my professional page, which has just started out, we've had 4 devotions so far, and we have reached a total of 200,000 views. 200,000 views with 40,000 people who have engaged. Engagement means, Dave, that they either liked it, they commented about it, they shared it, or they saved it. So it's been a real blessing that 40,000 people have responded to the first 4 devotions placed on my professional page.
Okay, I want to make a point here, because we're going to make some points along the way, because this is what we're doing at Lessons for Life. We are now on social media. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. We're on several pages doing the same thing you're doing. And we've seen some of the same results you're seeing. And so I want people that are listening that would like to go farther with the ministry, they might consider this. Is that correct?
That is correct. The fields are white in the harvest. And the beauty about social media is you're reaching people in the comfort of their confines. It might be when they're in bed and they're reading it on their phone, or maybe at work on their computer. But there is the message that you want them to read, to process, and then hopefully respond to in some way, so that after they read it, my desire is that they'll have a greater desire to reach out to God.
I want to make a point here, just a point that we're doing. This is not an advertisement for Facebook,
Correct,
or TikTok, or anything. It's a human being, you, Randy, who has decided that he wants to spread the word of the gospel. And he's doing that through this, and it's just started. So I want to talk a little bit about what happened. Let's go back to the Billy Graham Training Center.
Sure.
Understanding is that you had a mentor that began leading you in the right direction. Is that correct?
Yeah, I spent an hour with this gentleman. He was a wonderful man of God. His name is Eddie Jones. There's his card. I got his permission to be able to share that with you. He spent an hour with me. He's involved in ministries for the poor and the homeless in Raleigh, and also in a ministry called Send Jesus to Prison through books. And the interesting thing about his slant, he goes, Randy, maybe God doesn't necessarily want you to become a writer, but rather more fully develop the ministry that you already have, and that is to reach people through social media.
Now, you were writing on your own page,
Yes.
devotionals. Is that correct?
On my personal page prior to the conference, yes.
Now, you have a different page now, and with his guidance that
Yes.
you're now using that has a bigger pull. What kind of page is it?
It's called Devotions from the Heart. It's a professional page. I do have a couple pictures of the family and my wife and me, or my grandparents, to let people know the human side of me, but anyone can go there. Devotions from the Heart. I just started the page. We have 4 posts on there right now. The one that's on right now that people are reading is called Jesus Stood Still.
I want to go back to your first page if we can.
Yeah.
The understanding is that the first page you put on the 10th of the month was with a pi sign.
Yes.
Pi of a circle, the area of a circle, right?
That is, it was called the Majestic God with the pi symbol on there, 3.14, the great math ratio.
I want to talk a little bit about what that was. Can you give us a little rundown of what that devotional was on?
Sure. There it is right there, the infinite God, pi. And in Isaiah, it says, it is he, God, that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. And having a math background, I am a CPA by trade, and my wife was a math major as well. We know that pi is 3.14. which happens to also be my birthday, by the way. Maybe that's why I've always been fascinated by it. And 3.14 is one of the great mathematical constants in that it relates the circle circumference to its radius. And that moved me so much, pi, and that knowing that God sits upon the circle of the earth. And then I thought, why don't I share 7 verses that take the address, as I call them, chapter 3, verse 14. And I was excited what God gave me and how I can see that.
Those are the ones that are on the screen right now, right?
There they are. It starts with Exodus 3:14 and it goes all the way through 1 John 3:14. And I was excited that each one of those builds upon what the prior verse had stated. And I get the reader's interest, I hope and pray, by the picture. It shows pi. So maybe even a non-Christian or someone who might not even be interested in it, they're going to want to see why is somebody writing about pi, which is known by the digit 3.14. But it's an infinite
Let's
number.
talk a little bit about, since we're talking about success, about what happened as far as on this very first broadcast. What kind of viewership did you have?
What was really fascinating, when we posted the page, we had 18,000 views when it was active. And then when I stopped that devotion and moved on to the next, this thing seems to have a life on its own, because as you might have seen in the back corner, 920 people have shared it. And the view count now on that devotion has grown from 18,000 all the way up to 60,000 views. 48,000 have just organically, as they say, have read about pi. It's been interesting. Some of the more scientific people have really criticized it in their comments, but they've been few and far between. Most of the comments have been very positive. I'm thrilled that 920 people shared it, because whether they were wanting to promote it or not, what's contained in the verbiage? The gospel. I want to reach people with the love of God.
Now let's make this point now. You've only had 4 different posts so far on your professional page. Is that right?
That is correct. And our next one was when you are down to nothing, God is up to something. God blessed us with nearly 14,000 people who engaged in that liked it, commented it, most importantly, shared it. Because when they share it to somebody, then other people get to read the story of God's great hope that when you're down to nothing, God is up to something.
Okay, now let's back up for a second, just to see this. You've had 4 posts. Your ministry has expanded to numbers that you never had before, and you're spreading the gospel after going to a conference. Have I got that correct?
You are correct. A conference that I thought I was going to come back to be a writer, and God said, nope, stay in the lane you're already in. Just keep working at being a social media spreader of the gospel.
Let's talk a little bit to people out there that are thinking about something they want to do. Maybe this appeals to them. Maybe they would like to, they have a Facebook page and they'd like to go to a professional page. Can you tell us first, before we look at the results, how you go to a professional page? What do you do on Facebook?
Well, you have to go through a system called Ads Manager. And I have to tell you, Dave, that you have to have a PhD to figure it out. It is, and I've heard other people say that as well. It is the most complex thing I have seen, and I'm a professional. I'm a CFO of a pretty large manufacturing company. But I got my Facebook page set up through Ads Manager, and now I've got it set up to where if I load a devotion, which my 5th one is going to be loaded tomorrow morning, it's entitled, But God, I'm able to now just put it on the page, put the picture on the page, and then I'm able to boost that page, and then it becomes live, and then Facebook's algorithm takes it from there. And if enough people like it, if enough people share it, then it takes it to a larger audience and a larger audience, like that old commercial, and so on and so on and so on.
But you said something to discourage some people. You said it was very difficult to be able to figure it out.
Well, I went through
the average person figure it out.
Well, I did the difficult path going through Ads Manager. I am not the right person to speak to about this. Bob really would be, but you could probably set up your Facebook professional page, just as you would your own personal page. So I don't think they have to go the difficult route that I did. But there are tutorials out there. You go on YouTube, and they will be able to walk you through that. Believe me, I used YouTube to get through the whole process.
Did you want to add something, Bob? Go ahead.
Yeah, he's absolutely correct. If you go through the ads manager, it can be a little difficult. But folks, if you do want to do a professional page, and the difference between that and your personal page is the fact that you can actually get more people to follow than just would be on your regular page. You're only allowed a certain amount of friends, and then your main page is cut off as your personal profile. If you go into an actual professional page, you basically have unlimited exposure to how many people can end up following and seeing all of your posts and everything that's going on. And it's actually pretty simple to do. You can go through your own personal profile and you can click add a page. And Pastor Dave's done that actually with Mathis Ministries.
I can do it anyway.
Yeah, and we've done it with Lessons for Life having their own page. And they were actually created off of our profile page by clicking the little plus sign under our profile settings. And you can just type in the name of a page and create a page right there. And if you need help with that, folks, feel free to message us here on the Lessons for Life. And I'll get those messages, and I'm happy to do a walkthrough with you and help you to set that page up so that you too can minister to the multitudes through social media. And now I'm going to jump back out and turn it back over to you
Don't jump
guys.
out yet, Bob. Don't jump out yet, because you mentioned your name, and you're our tech director, and we're doing some of the same things. And this is not an ad for it. Can you tell us a little bit of what this costs, Randy? What does it cost to set up a professional page?
Well, the professional page was free. That is just like when you guys set up your pages, it was a no cost setup. It's just time and expertise. Luckily, I had friends who had expertise, and I made sure I found the time. But there is no cost to it. But I think our friend Bob here is excited, and he's getting me excited that now that I realize my ministry is going to be on social media, I too now want to follow what you've done, Bob. And if you can take a moment to tell us the path that you've been on.
Yeah, so over the past month, folks, I have started my own TikTok page, and it's called Encouraging 24/7. God really burdened my heart. I was out there under Bob Etzel and things on TikTok, and just was, looking at all kinds of different lives and things going on. But I was in a karaoke page on TikTok and was singing in there country music. And not that there's necessarily anything wrong with country music. There's a lot of great positive message and things in country music. But God actually convicted me and said, hey, that's not what I brought you here for. I brought you here to encourage people and to proclaim my name. And so that particular live that I was in shut down completely. It just, somehow they lost connection. And when that happened, I got a message saying, hey, we're not going to be able to go back on due to the connection error. And I said, oh my, and it was during a song that I was singing that mentioned alcohol and stuff in it. And I just immediately said, I'm sorry, Lord. And from that point on, I went into these same karaoke rooms where these people are doing those kinds of songs. And I went in and sang the goodness of God, how great thou art, through the fire, all these gospel songs. And the people absolutely loved it. And so in 4 weeks, I've got over 650 followers, and God's just doing great things with it. And I'm going to be bringing Randy on there so that he can talk about his ministry and expose him to the people that I already have following me, and they'll start following him. And it's going to be another avenue for him to be able to get his devotions out to the multitudes. And we are putting together a Lessons for Life page. And yes, I have been promoting Lessons for Life in every single karaoke thing that I have done, and in every live video that I've done where I've been singing. I've made sure that I'm promoting Lessons for Life. And so far, we've already had the guy Dan Ogle last week with Living for Jesus from TikTok. We've got another lady that's going to be coming up in April from TikTok. I've got another one that I just lined up from TikTok. So we're starting to bring people over to Lessons for Life from TikTok to share their ministries.
You got to realize that all of us are novices in this. We're not professionals.
That is correct.
We started out trying to get on Abundant TV because we knew the people there. We had to try out for it, and we weren't very successful at first. We've grown since then, and now we're into TikTok. We're doing the same thing you are, Randy. And it's been very successful for us and very successful for you. And if this interests you, maybe you'll want to contact one of us. We'd help. Good.
It's an exciting journey, and in addition to TikTok, Bob, my mentor is encouraging me to go to YouTube as another social media platform to where I would be reading these devotions that I have written, but setting them to music and some scenery, to where the picture would depict that which is written in the text. And Pastor, I have over 1,000 devotions, and I have about 50 of them already polished and ready to post. But you only want to do one at a time because you don't want them competing. And I get excited each new morning. I tell someone that God has given these messages that I can't wait to share, but they're one at a time. And I was excited about today's devotion. Been on 2 days. Jesus stood still. Lord willing, tomorrow we will be publishing But God.
And we publish every single week on YouTube. In fact, this particular episode will end up being published by the weekend or by next week. We will have this up on our YouTube channel. Of course, all you got to do is type in that little @ Lessons FL. And guess what, Pastor Dave? We're now trending on YouTube to where you don't even have to put the @ in there anymore. It's just Lessons FL. It takes you right to Lessons for Life as the top result in YouTube. So, folks, go to Lessons FL. You'll be able to get to our page. Randy, your YouTube's coming up, and I imagine it's going to have something to do with Devotions from the Heart. So for now, people need to go to your Facebook page, follow that, and then through there they'll get the news as soon as your YouTube's ready to go and your TikTok's ready to go. It'll all cross-post. And so if people follow your Facebook page, then they'll be able to get all the information for all of the other opportunities that you've got coming up.
Now we're starting to run out of time. I wish we had a lot longer to talk to you, but looking at the clock here, it looks like
3 minutes.
3 minutes? Oh, good. We can talk a little bit about, what your plans are. Looks to me like you're going to start, Randy, a TikTok page.
Yes, sir.
A YouTube page. And you're looking to expand the ministry. Look how far Randy's come since he was working for GM and he lost that job. Today, he's very happy, and he's got so many people that are following him and following us. So
Pastor Dave, you can relate to this as a pastor. You only have so many people within those 4 walls that you get to minister to on Sunday morning, and sometimes it's not the greatest size, group of people. But when we've gone now to social media, we're ministering to far greater numbers than would have even fit in the small building that you were pastoring.
In our town, it's way over 100,000, isn't it?
It is. We're almost 200,000. That's not including our Facebook and, of course, our new TikTok page will be getting the multitudes. And then, of course, our YouTube. We've been getting a lot higher on the hits on our videos on YouTube as well.
And Randy's experiencing that too. So this is just an idea. Doesn't mean you have to do it. But it's an idea. It's an idea that maybe somebody might be interested in. And we just hope that what we're doing tonight, that somebody will look into expanding their ministry any way they can. I never spoke to all the people in 15 years, the churches I was in, as I talked to probably in 1 or 2 of these broadcasts here. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is. And I believe we need to walk through the doors that God opens. And when God opens up the door for us to be able to preach about his love, his truth, his word, it is our joy and our obligation to walk through that door. And if he closes this door someday, maybe he'll open another. But for now, this is the path. I'm very thankful, and I want to remain clothed in humility and just try to reach out and encourage people.
You did that tonight. I'm so glad you were on. Aren't you glad he's on, Bob?
I am. He's just a joy. And even when Randy's not been on our broadcast, when he was over in that conference and things, and even when he got back, he had known that I wasn't feeling good. And he was sending me texts like crazy, just saying, I'm praying for you. I hope you're doing okay. He is an encourager, and I am so thankful to call him a friend.
I'm honored to call you both my friends. Thank you.
Hey, good. You're in my will.
All right.
We got nothing, but you're in it. Hi, guys.